The pencil tool in Photoshop is a lot like the brush tool. It just draws freehand hard edge lines. It's pretty much all you need to know about the pencil tool. It's not that special. Honestly, I never use it. If I need the pencil tool, 9 times out of 10, I can just use the brush tool and get the same effect. But let's go ahead and explain what it is. We're going to explain it. We're going to go over all the options up here. And then you should know everything you need to know about the pencil tool. Like I said, it draws hard edge freehand lines. And that's about it. If you hold Control and Alt at the same time, and while doing that, right click, then you can drag to the right to change the size, and up and down to change the hardness. You can do the same thing with the brush tool, but that's it. It's really not that special. You just make it to draw lines. Another thing you can do, you can just click once and then go wherever else, hold shift and click again, and it will make a straight line. You can just keep holding shift and connect the lines how you want. The top options for it, obviously we got our tool presets. If you right click anywhere, it'll open up this window. You can also get to that by clicking this down here. This is just the brush preset picker. You can change the brush angle, the brush roundness, the size, and the hardness from here. You can also search for brushes. It's got recently used tools right here. And then it's got your brush gallery with all your saved brushes down here. So let's keep going with the controls. We got blend modes. This is just the blend mode of the actual brush stroke itself. So if your layer has a blend mode, that has nothing to do with the blend mode of the actual brush. Then we got opacity. It's pretty self-explanatory. We got pressure for opacity. I've explained this in other tools, but it's if you have a Wacom tablet or a pen tablet, the harder you press, the more opacity there's going to be. After that, we got smoothing. This sets the smoothing for the stroke. This is awesome for if you got shaky hands. If I make a line, right, you see how it's a little shaky? If I turn the smoothing all the way up, it's completely straight. It kind of has a little bit of a delay. You'll see how the brush tip goes in front of the stroke. But it's real easy to control it and have it so there's not a lot of shake in it, right? Even if your hand's shaking, it's not going to catch a lot of that. I don't use 100 when I use smoothing though. If I'm using it, I'm using like 25%, maybe 50, and it looks pretty nice when you do it. After that, we got some extra smoothing options down here. You got pulled string mode. This is what it does. I really don't like using that. Then you got stroke catch up. This is where you see how the delay is. If I stop, the stroke will catch up to the brush tip. See that? Then we got catch up on stroke end. So if I click and drag, I'm still clicking down. When I let go, it'll just complete the stroke. Click and drag, let go, and it completes. Adjust for zoom, that's usually checked. Just leave it checked. And that's all your extra smoothing options. After that, obviously, you got the brush angle. And then we got pen pressure for size. This is if you're using a pen tablet, the harder you press, the bigger the brush stroke will be. So let me just hook up my pen tablet real quick and show you. So with this, if I make a stroke, right, and I start real light, and just keep going, and just start pressing harder as I go, you can see what it does. And then start bringing down the pressure. It gets smaller. Right? So that's pen pressure for size. Pen pressure for opacity. Let me go ahead and show you what this does. So when you press light, it's a real light stroke, right? If I keep going and just keep gradually pressing harder, you'll see the opacity goes up and down with how hard you press on the tablet. You can combine this with this here, pen pressure for size, and you get some pretty cool effects. If I go real light, keep pressing harder, the opacity and the size change. Last but definitely not least, we got symmetry options. You can do vertical, horizontal, dual axis. You got diagonal, wavy, circle, spiral, parallel lines. You got radial. This is pretty cool. And mandala. So let me just show you a couple. Obviously vertical. You'd set the range for it. I just do it like this. And you can move it. Click done. And then anything you draw on this side will draw on this side also. Right? If you draw right in the middle. So that's vertical. Obviously, you know what horizontal is going to do. Dual axis. Everywhere you draw on one, it'll draw it on all four corners. Diagonal, same concept. So wherever your line is, that's where the symmetry is going to occur. Right? It's pretty easy. Let me just show you radial, because this is a real cool one. It'll open the radial symmetry dialog box, and then you can control the symmetry count. Every section is going to have its own strokes. So if I were to come from here to here, connects them all, right? If I come here, here, connects them. If I make one dot in the middle and keep going and drawing a circle, connects it all. If I just put one line, right? There's a lot of things you can do with this symmetry stuff. Last but not least, I'm going to show you mandala. Again, this opens a mandala symmetry dialog box. Control the segment count. Click OK. It's pretty much like the radial one, but a little bit different. There you go. These are great for making patterns, guys. If you want to shut the symmetry off, you just come up here and click symmetry off. You can also transform the symmetry options. So if we want to transform them, you know, you can do all types of things with this. You can change the plane. So much stuff you can do. But that's the pencil tool. If you got any comments or questions, make sure to put them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll catch you in the next one.